What the fuck's up? Hello everybody. Welcome back to another episode. This is episode 12. Have I been doing this that long? Where does all the free time go? No. Somebody just joined? I'm on grid. So if you join, you're on. We just went live. But yeah, Angry Black Quarterback episode number 12. QATAR is a jabroni. Don't worry. We'll talk about how the Cowboys destroyed the Vikings. The very same Vikings that we destroyed, and y'all told us it didn't mean shit. Holla at your boy. But now it supposedly it counts. And of course, we'll talk about the Eagles winning as well, but we're also going to talk about Qatar. We got the World Cup going on. U.S. drew. They had a draw with Wales the other day. There was a goal in the beginning. The Gareth Bale, fucking old man bun himself, had a PK. Supposedly they weren't supposed to get it. Maybe it was, shouldn't have been out of bounds. It shouldn't have been a throw-in. But we are going to discuss that because, obviously I support Team USA. Always another round of applause for Team USA. Men's soccer, women's soccer. Love the shit out of it. I used to have this guy in Austin way back. This is my younger years. And I used to go see him. He was like my medicine man, and I'd go hang out to him, and he was super diehard into Team USA. So I played a little bit of soccer, was never really super great, and then I got super into Team USA because I'd go watch the games with him. Every time Team USA played, I'd meet him at his bar. He wears a cape, like a flag cape, and his whole body is like red, white, and blue, and he's cut this soccer ball into a mask. Now he's all into the FC Austin team, which is great. But I mean, I don't think you can really watch or enjoy the World Cup without discussing. And I know it's being discussed, but it was discussed leading up to it, after they won, just kind of how fucked up that situation is. And yeah, just Qatar sucks. And then they're the first team to lose their first game as the host country, losing their opening game. And it's like they should. Like, I mean, I don't know. There's so much going around. There's these two guys that met some king who owns lions. I feel like everybody who lives over there owns some exotic animals. Everybody over there is so crazy rich. But, they spent $200+ billion building this stuff out. And, there's been hundreds of deaths of people that have died building this, who have their passports taken, aren't allowed to leave the country. Just these migrant workers that are really getting fucked over, and it's really frustrating when you see some broadcasts like, it's so beautiful and look at how gorgeous this is. Well, I'll be pulling up like this one statistic. I mean, it's from Twitter, yay Twitter, so it might not be true, but I think it is, and we'll just discusses how many people have actually died building Qatar, then plus the armbands. We'll get into all of that, but of course, but first off, we got to start off. I mean, big round of applause. Eagles win. I was talking a lot of shit about Jeff Saturday. I'm not going to lie. I was talking mad shit about Jeff Saturday because fuck Jeff Saturday. Oh, man, no. Hold on. Where is that? Bam. No, come on. This is always how it goes. I got to get this screen up, man. Come on. Why you got to do me like this? Now you make me play the music while I go through technical difficulties. Bear with me. Hey, no. Switch back to this one. Let's do this. I'll keep it all up. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. Hopefully y'all are doing good. Thanksgiving's tomorrow. If you're like me, hey, okay. So now I think I got it. Go back to this one, switch back to it, switch it over. Hey, let's go. On the fly. Oh, in the back. Eagles won. I was talking a lot of shit about Jeff Saturday. I'm not going to try to play jazz. Fuck Jeff Saturday. I mean, I guess he's a good coach. That team's got a lot of talent, big receivers. Had to come back. First time since 2010 the Eagles have come back down 10 or more in the fourth quarter to win. So that's, I guess, a good stat. Obviously have a ways to go, missing Dallas Goedert hurt, but our defense showed up. They made some good plays. we signed Ndamukong Suh, and we signed Linval Joseph. So those guys are massive. They both played fantastic. I think they had a half sack where they sacked Matt Ryan at the same time, which was super great. So that was fantastic. All for it. Fuck yeah. That's all I can really say. I mean, we only won by a point. The Colts are not that good. So I'm not taking too much away from it. I like that we came back and that we won, and that a team that's kind of riding this new wave coach of like, my coach has never coached before. Riding that wave, you know, we kind of shut that shit down on the road, and that was a good drive, but sloppy in some areas. Had turnovers. I mean, you know, we got to really tighten things up, but potentially Jordan Davis should be back for the game against the Titans, and Jordan Davis is a massive monster. So if we get Jordan Davis back, you put him back in the rotation, that could be big time, big time for us. And just a heads up, Joe 2.0 is running late today, and I mean, I thought Goody was going to be here by now, but he's always late. Who knows what he's doing? Okay, this is another thing. I'm going to listen to this interview cold. I've seen this clip. This guy, there's these guys that are running around dressed as Knights Templar in Qatar. That's kind of crazy. If you know your history, that's kind of nuts. But these guys are running around. Hold on. Because there's a lot of controversy around Qatar. Obviously, the human rights violations, you know, suppression of women's rights over there. I mean, I was reading through. There's all sorts of things that I would disagree with that don't really make sense to me that exist in the culture over there. But these two guys have dressed up. I honestly haven't watched this. I'm gonna listen to this cold.
We're here for the football. It is what it is, you know. When you've been following England as long as I have, all around the world and every World Cup, it's a passion. And I know politics shouldn't interfere with sports, but unfortunately they do. You know, we all have our moral high ground, and should I be here, should I not be here, I don't know, but I am.
That's kind of crazy. There's all sorts of, look, here's these guys again, they're running up the stairs. Just running around the World Cup dressed like Knights Templar. That's crazy.
Sorry.
I mean, you kind of have to laugh, but I don't see them laughing at all. I don't know why you would do that. That's crazy. Running around Qatar dressed like a Knights Templar. Yeah, and there were some big wins. Saudi Arabia won. We saw Argentina lose, which is nuts. This is actually a pretty good clip. So these guys interrupt this guy's broadcast. That's where's Messi. That's what he's saying.
Excuse me, where is Messi?
Where's Messi?
Where is Messi? Where is Messi? Where is Messi? Everybody see Messi. Where is Messi? Congratulations! Thank you so much.
Like that's got to be crazy. Like those are some big ones because Japan won as well. Japan beat Germany, I believe. Pretty crazy. And there was a lot of teams, captains who were wearing these armbands to symbolize unity with like LGBTQ plus. And they were told that they could potentially get carded. They might miss games, or they get carded off the jump, and then they card them again, I think. And then that team who would wear those bands, those armbands, was going to be down a person the whole game, which sounds kind of insane to me. So we've seen all different types of protests. Iran didn't sing their national anthem. Their soccer team just kind of stood there in solidarity. We've seen a lot of issues going on over there with protesting and protesters' rights. This is such a controversial place to have it. Whenever they got announced that Qatar was going to be getting the World Cup, and I'm sure y'all are tired of me talking about this, and I apologize, but whenever actually, no, I don't, because like whenever they won this thing, it was complete and total bullshit, and they paid everybody off. They've spent $250 billion to build a bunch of stuff that didn't exist, exploited a bunch of slave labor to accomplish this goal in the first place. Like, there's nothing, and I was listening to somebody else. I think it was some person I would disagree with, like Matt Walsh or something, and he was talking about how, like, we don't have any rights to, like, ridicule them. And I'm not trying to ridicule them, but, like, their culture, but you can't exploit slave labor to build these massive stadiums. Like, we've seen people be banned from the Olympics, not being able to compete for way more, like, for, I mean, in my opinion, less. I mean, Russia's steroid doping scandal, while it is a big deal, and not trying to diminish that, but I'd say this is a way bigger controversy to me than a bunch of Russians taking steroids in the colds of Moscow. Like, that doesn't throw me off as much, you know? Maybe not. Maybe I'm crazy. Anyways, like, it's just bugging the shit out of me. And the soccer's great. The games are great, and the upsets are fun, but nah, man. Like, I'm just not down with that. I just don't like that. Just doesn't sit well with me. Why is what is going on right now on Twitter? What it's showing me is Jerry Jones and meth. What is going on? Oh yeah, Zach Wilson got benched. But yeah, 2.0 and Goody will be here at some point. But yeah, Zach Wilson got benched. He was kind of confronted at the end of the game. He went like 9 for 22 for something like half a yard. Played like garbage the entire game. The only two losses, his only two losses are against the Patriots, but that's pretty much who you have to beat. I mean, they're not in bad shape, but it looks bad when you're getting interviewed and they're asking if you feel sorry for the defense because the defense played their ass off. I mean, that's a 3-3 game that a punt return decides the game. That was incredible. I was watching it, and I was like, what the hell's going on? But your defense played so good to only give up 3 points. I mean, it's the Patriots, but 3 points is 3 points. You're playing professionals. And then when after the game to ask if you felt bad for the defense, did you just say no, point blank? Like, that just looks bad. I don't know. I've never really been that much into him. I know he's got a cannon of an arm, and he's like Mr. Steal Your Mom or your mom's best friend, but I'm not. I don't know. I mean, if you're gonna put in Joey the Crowbar Flacco, are you fucking kidding me? If you put in Joe Flacco, I love Joe Flacco. True story. Back in the day in Madden, I was obsessed with Joe Flacco. Whenever I would play in Madden, I would always be the Ravens because he had a cannon and you could throw it to Jacoby Jones super deep. And they had like pretty good running backs, but their defense was great. So, I mean, I was always more geared towards defense because my offense sucked and I had some weak stick game. Now, your boy's stepped his game up, so don't you worry about that. We got the, we throw those out there. But back in the day, I was terrible. And whenever I would pick a team, I'd always pick them because he had a pretty big, like, QB vision, and he had a rocket of an arm. And if you put Joe Flacco back in, I mean, I think this team is still competitive. They have a really good defense. Wilson's just kind of a wiener. I don't know. He seems like some little bratty coach's son that, like, we've all played some sport with, or, I just don't. Your vibes are off, dude. I don't like your vibes, man. You need to hang out with Russell Wilson more and try to poop once a week. I want to hold off on this. I mean, we're going to touch on these topics with these super late punk asses when they get here. But Larissa Pippen is dating Michael Jordan's son. That's rowdy, bro. I don't know how I feel about that.
You cold as a motherfucker, homie.
And this dude is at this game, and he just walks up. There, I guess at some, I don't know what stadium it is. Bougie as shit though, because they got glass handrails. And Larissa Pippen and Larissa Pippen and Michael Jordan's son, who are dating now, were, I guess, watching this game, and it's been going on for a little bit. I mean, she kind of hooked up with Future. She's kind of like whatever, living her best life. And
hey, Laura,
this dude rolls up and is like, "What are you doing?" So that's her there, and she's a little bit older than him for sure. But
the boy Mike, son, you a cold motherfucker, ain't you? You cold as a motherfucker, homie.
That's pretty good. And then this Las Vegas Raiders linebacker Blake Martinez sells rare Pokemon card for $672,000, and he retired at 28 years old. This is not uncommon. Apparently, it's some illustrator, so it's like a 9.5. So it's rare. What is it labeled? What is this saying? That's roughly. But supposedly he got this money and retired. I mean, he was on the Giants and he got traded from the Giants kind of into the season. He was their leading tackler last year and got traded to the Raiders. I don't know if you can really retire off one Pokemon card. If this dude's information's correct, that ain't going to get you far, dog. After federal tax, that's roughly $450K, and then depending on what state he sold it in, whether it's another state tax, roughly $360. It's a lot of money. I don't think you can sell like or retire from the NFL. He's made some money. I don't think he's gotten his like a really big deal, but that's still good. I don't know why people sell those. I'd be keeping these Pokemon cards, man. I'd be keeping them. There's no way I'd get rid of them. Yeah, because of the One Love armband. It's a moment, the brief thousand. See, I just don't, and I know it's like we're over there, but it's like the whole entire process of bringing the World Cup to Qatar was so just stanked with corruption, and then you double down on that with it basically being paid for, and then the way they exploit hundreds, I mean, I guess thousands of people to accomplish all of these goals with I guess zero ramifications. Because I don't think that you could, there's nothing, we don't do anything remotely close. Like you would go to that, your company would be shut down. I don't understand how you do that. Captains of England, Wales, Belgium, the Netherlands, Switzerland, Germany, and Denmark. I plan to wear their armbands at the World Cup. On Wednesday, the German Football Federation released a series of tweets shortly after the game kicked off. It indicated the FIFA had prevented them from using their voice to speak up. And like FIFA's just full of corrupt motherfuckers. Like there's very few. I mean, you just want to talk about a swamp. I don't know. I was making a political statement. Human rights are non-negotiable, and that's true. That's like human rights are non-negotiable. That's not a political statement. See, and it's like, oh, they had, what does this say? Prior countries announced their captains would not wear the armband in Qatar. FIFA had brought forward its own no discrimination campaign and said all 32 captains would have the opportunity to wear an armband linked to the campaign. Sad that FIFA had taken the stance to deny players the opportunity to wear the armband. Yeah, I mean, if you set up some sort of, like, this is a ceremony for you to express yourself, and then after that, fuck off. That doesn't count. That's weird. I'd rather you just stay firm and not let me wear it at all than say like, no, well, you can wear it just for this day. It's like hat day at school. Hat day was stupid. Hat day was the dumbest thing ever. It's like whenever they're like, oh, but teachers can, I mean, maybe not, but like, it's like, oh, jean day. Everybody can wear jeans. Everybody can wear a hat. I'm like, get out of here. Either just let us wear hats or no, don't let us wear hats at all. Like having a hat day is stupid. You're encouraging people to be stupid because we're not consistently being able to wear hats. If you're going to let them, either don't let them wear hats or let them wear hats. Either let them all wear armbands and express themselves, because people want to do that, and that's totally okay. And I think that if you're, it shouldn't even be a compromise asking for people to be able to speak their voice on a world stage that they've worked hard to be on. and like it can like, come on, please, because they're bringing that to you and you paid for it. Over the moon. No, like that's, I don't know, like people competing in sports for the world's entertainment, obviously it's their passion, but their passion also happens to be for a bunch of people's entertainment where a lot of people profit a shit ton of money off of. You shouldn't be applauding those people not being able to use that platform they've worked for to express themselves. That's dumb. That doesn't make any sense to me. That's just gonna, that's like the NFL, the no fun league or whatever. But I mean, this is next level, and the concessions being made to Qatar to satiate them, so that it's almost like they just want to get it over with. But I mean, I think they love the fact that now they have this, because now they're going to use that. They have all these new stadiums. It's crazy. They're going to use it. There's only 18 or 360, let's say 336,000 Qatarians. And they just built like a universe out there to host this thing. And of course, it's like illegal to even be gay over there. So that's, country insists that everyone's welcome. Like, no, I mean, I don't know. Our track record has shown that we warmly welcome all people regardless of background. You just don't treat people who live there, who are residents. So you leave the tourists alone, but I don't know. It's a fine subject. I don't want to get myself in trouble, but it just doesn't sit right with me. I'll almost be glad when this is over. There's people not being able to get into stadiums, out, making people change shirts. We've seen them leave interviews whenever being questioned about human rights violations, or if they're, the living conditions of these people that are, the migrant workers. I thought they doubled up on this girl's picture. I was like, what is going on? I don't know. It does not sit right with me. Man, these guys are wild. I mean, he has a good point. He has a point, but man, I don't know. Oh, we'll wait on this. Okay. So, I don't know if anybody knows who Johnny Sins is. Johnny Sins is like some porn actor. He's a porn star. But he's become this meme where he is always doing these different jobs. So this is at Viking Stadium. This is at Viking Stadium during the game, where somebody tweeted, "Hey, Vikings, this is my cousin Joel, who served in the Army. He has always been an inspiration and someone I looked up to for his heroism. He is also a huge Vikings fan. Hashtag skull salute." So that's a porn star that somebody, I guess they've been using this picture of him as a soldier and trolling people on Twitter or on Facebook, Instagram, where they'll like tag it on some political person's picture. But this made it up onto the Jumbotron. How do you get Johnny Sins up on the Jumbotron? He's had so many jobs. It's like indisputable how many jobs this guy's had. How have I already? Yeah, here you go. That's your boy right there. And I was like, you don't want to go too deep into that thread, I'm sure. I'm pretty sure I don't want to go too deep in a Johnny Sins thread. But the fact that they put that up on the Jumbotron and someone took a picture and they're like, hey, that's that porn star, it's pretty good. So keep an eye out for Johnny Sins. Where are these kiddos? Okay, these guys supposedly
They were just having a good time.
were out in Qatar, and they were out. I guess they said they're looking for beer. There's no beer being served at the games and stuff. I don't know how you. I don't know. That's not a place I'd be wandering around at night looking for a beer. But it does look like a giant EDC party constantly.
I'm having a mooch, you know, getting our bearings right, and just the setup spot on, you know. Yeah, we've been enjoying ourselves, haven't we, John?
Yeah, last night we met one of the Sheikh's sons, and he took us back to the palace, and he showed us he had lions and everything. They've made us so welcome. And look around you, it doesn't get any better than this.
That's crazy.
Obviously on a bit of a hunt for some beers, and he was like, yeah, we saw beers. So we jumped into the back of his Toyota Land Cruiser, ended up at a big palace, and we were in the back. He showed us his monkeys, his exotic birds. It was nuts.
That's crazy. I might go do that. With a Sheikh's son. That's crazy, just walking around looking for beers. Oh, and okay, this is epic. I don't know if I can play the audio from this. I might get striked. Dwight Howard is now playing overseas in Taiwan, which I was completely unaware of. I was wondering what team he was on. He balled the fuck out. He went 38. He had 38 points on 14 to 32 shooting. He shot 10 threes. Since when did he shoot that many threes? 8 of 12 from the free throw line, 25 rebounds, 9 assists, and 5 blocks in his first game. I mean, granted, it's Dwight Howard. He is massive. He's playing in Taiwan, so he is a mountain of a person compared to these people. And I think we've seen some other people who are, look at this. He's like, look at that three. He missed it. That one he missed. But when did he, what? He's going to just do whatever he wants. He's just jacking up shots. Look at how much bigger he is than everyone. It's insane. He's probably getting a big check too. Like there's nobody. He's going to be instant Hall of Famer. Instant Hall of Famer. Like, look at that shot. And there's no one going out there. And that guy couldn't put a hand up in his face. This is like the why. I'm kind of surprised he's not on a team, if I'm being honest. You can't do that, man. You can't hold up the 3 fingers. Ooh, yeah, I got a copyright because I played this video with audio last time. And that's the Undertaker got me, dude. I got Heineke'd. There's another video where they're like out. This is it. This is like the guy's house. So I guess he like posted it all. He's got these little lions and tigers. No. I mean, that little, I don't know, that little tiger. I don't know, man. Can't keep big cats like that. That's not cool. To me, if you have a big cat, cool. Like just get like a regular cat, like a cool inside-outside cat. You don't need a jaguar. That's a little absurd. Oh. I think I hear 2.0. Is he there? Someone there? Hello?
Hello?
What's up, man?
Hey, sorry.
For what? Life happens. I was just running through shit, but you have to go over some of these issues with me real quick.
Alright.
Dang, is your hair wet?
A little bit. It should be mostly dried by now.
I was like, you're like creepy. I see you, boy.
I'd let the curls out for the show, you know.
Get out of here. Curls out for the show. Bullshit. Well, welcome. We're still waiting on Goody. I don't even know where he is. But thank you for being here. 2.0. Back again. So we got to wait for his bitch ass to get into bets. I was rambling about just Qatar and the World Cup and how crazy and weird it is. I also discussed how Zach Wilson got benched. Let's talk about that first. How do you feel about that? I think that's fucking hilarious.
I mean, he kind of deserves it after that comment, like, on if he let down his defense or not, because absolutely he let down his defense. They had, what, like 7 yards in the second half?
Yeah, they had 7 total, and they were negative 21 passing yards or something.
Yeah, like, that's ridiculous. And then your defense, like, busts their ass the whole game, only gives up 10 points to an NFL team. You get 7 yards of offense and you say you didn't let the defense down? Like,
yeah. I mean, it was, what, 3-3 until there was that punt return?
Mm-hmm.
That's like, to only give up 3 points for your defense is fantastic. And then they give up that punt return, but you shouldn't have even been in that situation. Both teams shouldn't have been, but man, I think it's funny. I think he's kind of a spoiled brat. I never, when they were like, oh, I was like, really? That BYU kid? I mean, he's got a cannon, but I've never been super sold on him. I'm all about Joe Flacco. Throw Joe Flacco the fuck out there. Let's go. Joey the crowbar. He's going to go out there and throw some dots, dude. Throw some darts, bro.
Hell yeah.
Because they have a good team. Like, they have good weapons, so it's not like they're not talented. And the defense has been playing great. They're not in bad shape. But, man, you can't be saying stupid shit like that. You know? Like, that's not... No. And he said it so quick.
Yeah, didn't think about it at all. Just instantly, no.
No. He was instant. No. I was like, really? Instantly no? The fact that you were 9 of 22 when you had, like, butt fuck for yards and didn't do anything. Like, he literally didn't do anything the entire game. He's 5-2, riding a defense. He's got 4 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He's running around there, and he just looks so pompous. Like, there's some... I mean, maybe it's, like, the little hairdo and the coiffedness, but, man, he just looks like he'd be a pain in the ass and be kind of like a brat about it.
Isn't he also a team captain?
Yes. But I think that's just like, oh, you're the rook. We got to give it to you. I think that they just do that. Like, I think if any rookie quarterback is starting most of the time, unless you have a big heavy presence in the locker room, you know, you've got, okay, you know, whenever the Eagles went on their Super Bowl run and it was Carson Wentz's like second year or whatever, like, he wasn't a team captain because you have like Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham, and you've got Michael Jenkins. You have all these, you know, you have Lane Johnson. You have all these big, and Jason Kelsey. Like, even if you needed him to be a leader, Carson Wentz was like 10th on the list of leaders. They're a young team, and they're looking to inspire somebody they drafted, right? Like, they're looking to put the ball, like Taylor Heineke. I could see him being a team captain. Because he's out there and he's like, I'm from Old Dominion and I'm going to run around. He's all scrappy, you know? Like he chews he chews tobacco or something. Like he chews shredded American spirits, and it's the yellow ones, so it's like the heavier ones. Like he just seems like that type of dude. So he would be a team captain. But with this one, with Wilson, I'm just like, nah, man, I don't see it. There's nothing about your body language, how you look on the sideline. You just look like some pretty boy. You look like someone who'd be cast in like Varsity 2 Blues, like Varsity Blues 2, you know, going to college. Like, he looks like somebody you'd cast to be like okay, so you're the stud quarterback in town. He just look, it's not, man. He's so demonstrative on the sidelines. I just can't fucking deal with it.
I don't know. Hopefully they start Joe Flacco and.
Well, he's not playing this week. He's benched, man. They benched his ass. They said that Heineke's not playing this Sunday. He is benched.
Really?
Yeah, they pulled him. They're sitting him this week, dude. Joey Flax coming out. Joey Flaxseed coming out big time. I mean, that'll be. I mean, he played before because he was hurt when he was running around in the preseason and hurt or whatever and hurt his knee in the first game, I guess. And then he missed a bunch, and then he came back. Like, that defense has been carrying that team.
Yeah.
To say, oh, I'm not responsible for our struggles is like, eat a dick, dude. Eat a dick.
Yeah, if that was my team captain, I would be pissed off at him.
Oh, yeah.
From like a coach, from a front office perspective, from a coaching perspective, from a player's perspective, like you can't follow. It's hard to follow a guy that goes and does shit like that.
No, yeah, you don't want to. You don't want to do. Oh, wait, what did I just do? Oh, maybe I don't know. I can't see. I'm trying to look at the bets. I wonder what I always wonder, like, what is Goody doing right now? Why is he late? You know, like, what is he up to?
It is Goody, so
Like, it could be anything. You know, he's such a wild card. Have you been watching any of the World Cup?
I have been actually. Like the World Cup is the one time I'll actually watch soccer.
Yeah.
It's like it's fun to watch. It's like it's easy to feel the energy from like your couch just watching it there, so it makes it a little more interesting. The fact that the U.S. is in it too helps a lot.
Yeah, like I'm pulling for the U.S. in this one, but I was rambling for like 20 minutes. I just have a real issue with just like how everything was constructed, the way they went about doing everything. It just all seems real disingenuous. That I'm not like, it's just not on the up and up. So like while everybody's getting to watch the World Cup, it's also like, man, it's just kind of, you know, messed up and like making people change their shirts now. I mean, that's where it's like I just don't. It's just so confusing. It's such a, you know, hot button issue, I guess. But like, I think FIFA's corrupt as fuck, and that's basically proven. That's been proven beyond the shadow of a doubt to me, at least. And so I just don't trust the process. Everybody thought that it stank, and then we realized it does, and we're still hosting it. There's 1,000 other places you could have hosted something like this, and you did not have to do it there. You could have done it somewhere else. Which means that by choosing it to do it, like, a lot of innocent people lost their lives, like, basically working for pennies.
Really?
Yeah, well, I mean, they were using migrant workers to build this stuff. So there's, like, you should watch, man. They talk about how that's, like, you know, basically a big room. And some of them where, like, the bathroom, there's, like, one bathroom for 50 people or 30 people. Sometimes they don't even have, like, an actual toilet. It's just, like, a hole. But, you know, they have very little food, and it's all these people that are building these stadiums are living in these, and then they're bringing them, they're like bussing them in. So it's outside the city. So where I'm talking, these people live like way outside the city.
Oh, okay.
So they would, you know, bring them in, but then like they live outside so that you wouldn't like see them. They're not like wandering the streets, you know?
Yeah, I think Qatar wanted to like take hosting the World Cup to prove that they're like Abu Dhabi. They're a lot like Dubai. Like they're this like really nice country. Like it's just proven to be a shit show. Like they still are nice. There is a lot of like investments into tourism there, but like it's not going well.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's like 336,000 or something like that Qatarians, and then everyone there, but they have a population of like over 2 million. They're like 2.96 million or somewhere around there, and a lot of them are like migrant workers and people that are like transient. Like it's like, and those people have like less rights. Some of these people get their passports taken, so like they're not able to leave. Like, you know, if they wanted to quit a job, sometimes they wouldn't be able to get the fuck out of the country if they wanted to. I was reading that women aren't allowed to leave the country. Single Qatari women are not allowed to leave the country without a male chaperone or escort up until they're over the age of 25. I mean, that's just crazy to me. I mean, I just don't understand how we can sit idly by and know that these, and not even about like what they do within their own culture, just the fact that on a global scale that we're like giving a pass at the, you know, extortion of all of these people to host some soccer event. Like I just think there's a stronger case to not have it there than there was to like, then it's, to me that's a bigger issue. And I was saying, to me that's a bigger issue than Russia being in the Olympics when they got popped for doing doping and steroids. I think this is a bigger issue than that. You know, I have a bigger issue with this than I do Russians doing steroids.
Yeah.
And they weren't allowed to compete as their country. Some of their people still got to go. I mean, it's all because at the end of the day, they want the competition, you know. They want everybody can be bought when it comes to these old dudes on these soccer committees, and they're like, "Oh, we're going to have it here. Oh, I got $10 million. You think you'd be getting more than 10 million? I mean, and I'm pretty sure they could make it difficult to like track or find, I guess. I mean, if they were paying all these guys off, I don't think it'd be that easy. I think they could just give you like straight up cash. There wouldn't even need to be like a money transfer.
Yeah.
Depending. I mean, I don't know. I'd be wanting all my things in like jewels, so I'd feel like a thief. Yeah, that'd be awesome. But that I just, yeah, no. And that's what's always kind of turned me off from FIFA and soccer in the first place, is like the blatant cheating. Bugs the shit out of me. Where is Goody? I'm gonna call this dude right now. I'm gonna call him while we're recording. I don't care.
Live on air.
Yeah, I'm just gonna call him, dude. He's a little jabroni.
Just his camera set up. Yeah. No longer underneath the staircase.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what happened to you, Potter? You grew up.
Nah, I'm back home at my dad's house for Thanksgiving.
Oh, it is Turkey Day. Gobble gobble. You're at the Pops. Where is he? What's he doing?
I think he's at dinner with some friends. What he usually does.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up?
What are you up to?
I actually went over to my buddy's house and I completely forgot that I needed to jump on the podcast.
Are you able to? Or do you want me to read your picks on air myself? I can.
Yeah. I don't have my computer. Like, I feel really shit right now. I'm sorry.
No worries, dude. Well, yeah, you sent them to me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and did you win anything last week?
No.
Okay. How many units are you down?
6.
Okay, down 6 units. All right, well, I will read through your picks for you then, sir. Godspeed.
Okay. Are you guys already like?
Oh yeah, I'm just calling you live on air. We're just chit chatting, and I was like, "Where is this dude?" So I just was like, "I'm just gonna call him. Fuck it."
I know. Like I was just, like in the middle, like. And I'm like, I feel bad. I'm sorry.
No worries, dude. I'll hit you up later.
All
right, peace. He forgot about us. Boo this man.
Boo.
No, he's like been super busy, man. His job is honestly really fucking stressful, and I don't know how he deals with it, but he sent me his picks earlier, so I got some on deck, I think. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. How are you feeling about your Broncos? You guys got rid of the Melvin Gordon.
Yeah, I do like that a lot.
What's y'all's
like
record
for
now?
one, he
What are
needed to
y'all?
go.
What's your record?
3-7.
Oof, that's rough.
Yeah, it's tied for our worst start in the franchise history.
And did y'all trade? Do you guys have your first round pick?
I don't know, honestly. I feel like we probably traded it to the Seahawks.
Yeah, that would be rough if you did. That would not be good.
No, let's see here. Oh, no, we got a first from the Dolphins for Bradley Chubb.
Well, that's not going to be that great of a pick.
Yeah, and then we traded our other first to the Seahawks. Traded our second rounder to the Seahawks.
Oof. That's right.
Oh, yeah.
You're riding, man. You're riding that for sure. That's so rough.
So we got a first, a third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and then a seventh.
That's not too bad.
Yeah.
What do the Eagles have? Pull that up.
Ooh, all right, let me see.
2 firsts, 2 seconds.
Yeah, they got 2 firsts, 1 second, and then a pick every single round afterwards. Wait, no. Yeah, 2 firsts, a second, a third. They traded away their fourth for Robert Quinn.
Oh,
Like,
yeah. That's a solid move.
Then they traded their fifth to the Saints for Chauncey Gardner-Johnson.
And that's a solid play.
And then you traded your sixth to the Jags for Josiah Scott.
Okay.
And then you got 2 7-rounders.
And I think the next year we have a first and 2 seconds. I think that's what it is. But we have like we're a top 5 pick right now with the Saints. So hopefully they just completely collapse. I have a feeling we're going to trade that back. Honestly. I could see us.
Yeah, that'd be a good play.
Or we're going to get the best pass rusher. Because right now it looks like 3 quarterbacks are going 1, 2, 3. It could be that way. It looks like it could potentially, or at least 1, 2. And that's where we might take one of the pass rushers for sure. Hopefully that's the case. You look so adult. You look so much bigger without that underneath the stare background. I'm so proud of you. What else did I have on topics? Hold on 1 second. Are you glad to be out? Oh, dude. Well, I guess you don't really know anything. Do you know that Larissa Pippen? You know who Larissa Pippen is? Scottie Pippen's wife.
Okay, yeah.
Her ex-wife is dating Michael Jordan's kid. Isn't that the weirdest shit ever?
Like, she is 100% doing that just to get at him.
Oh, I mean, well, she used to. I guess she hooked up with Future or something because Future wrote that song Gucci Flip Flops. That's about Larissa Pippen, supposedly. And then I guess I needed to talk about this with someone. We don't have to get too deep into it. He might get a little comfortable. But did you see? I wanted to talk to Goody about it because we've had this discussion before. This kid Marcus Stokes, this like one of the best quarterbacks in the country out of high school, who got his scholarship from Florida pulled over the weekend because he was rapping a video and says the N-word. Did you see that? And got his scholarship pulled. I think that's a little much. I mean, rapping it is, I don't know. You should just don't say it. Just don't say it. But I don't mean it's not like he's like saying it to somebody. He's just like rapping it. But it's so dumb. Why would you post yourself doing that? With everything that's going on. And so he was a quarterback going to Florida and he's got a scholarship pulled. But someone like South Carolina's like, all right. Someone there like Auburn's like, yeah, fuck yeah. Auburn's like, come on, buddy. Come on out to Auburn. Ain't nobody gonna care. But yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
allegedly.
Allegedly, but caught on video.
Well, no, allegedly Auburn wouldn't care. They might. That was a little hyperbolic.
Oh,
that
yeah.
wasn't fair. That wasn't fair. But I wouldn't be surprised. And did you see Dwight Howard hooping out in Taiwan, dropping 38 with 2 threes, 8 of 12 free throws, 25 rebounds, 9 assists, and 4 blocks?
Damn. Okay.
Dude, you need to. I wish you could see these highlights where he's just like, it's absurd. He's a mountain. He's like crossing people up. He's running the ball like he's running point. He's dribbling it out by the 3-point line and breaking people down and running around them and just dunking on people. And then he's jacking up the craziest looking threes, like step backs. and just like pull up threes, and he's sticking some of them, but these guys can't even put a hand in his face. It's Dwight Howard. He's huge. The stadium's packed. I mean, they got to be paying him. Those guys make so much money whenever they go out and they are playing in like Taiwan, or whenever they retire from the NBA and go play in China. Those guys make a lot of money still. It's a huge market over there. But I had no idea he was even over there. I thought he was like on someone's team.
Yeah, I thought he was I knew he was overseas somewhere, but I didn't know it was in Taiwan.
Yeah, like if you were in that position, would you go play? I'd go play. What he's probably doing is because he's probably going to come back and play for somebody in the playoffs. They'll bring him in, make him a rotational guy because he's still able to play. And the NBA finals and all that, or the NBA playoffs isn't going to run that long. I don't know how many teams there are, but I don't think they have an 82-game season in this Taiwan league, you know. He's probably going to be playing like 16 games or something.
Yeah, probably a nice little like stay in. Let me prove that I can like stay in shape and then kind of show what I can do.
I'm going to pull these clips back up because he's just like, it's kind of wild. And if he did any of this stuff, he would get pickpocketed. But I mean, you know, I would go do that. It's a packed arena. They're probably paying him a good chunk of money. I'd go play in Taiwan, especially if I was like, that isn't even a good basketball move. Like this little like crossover, he like runs in like a little semicircle. Because when has Dwight Howard ever been a ball handler? All of a sudden he goes to Taiwan. He's out there. He's like Luka, hitting the Euro step and pick and pop threes. It's like, what? Where was this? But I mean, you know, the level of competition in the NBA is massive. So playing over there, he's literally a giant.
Yeah, it'd also be really cool to go live in Taiwan for a couple of years.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like, I would do that. I would go play in, like, maybe not China, like Germany, somewhere in Europe. Just for a couple years, just kind of get that, like, life experience, too, and get paid a fuck ton of money.
Yeah, well, and you got to remember, these guys' markets are really big. So the NBA is a global sport, so they get paid a lot of money. You know, they get paid, 23, 10, and 9. The shooter continues. He's just out here picking and banking shots, like 15-footers. Like, what is going on? What is going on with Dwight Howard? Bro, it's like a time machine. He's like doing the triple threat move where he's like, and then hitting a three. What? Get him on Boston right now.
I'm sure it's also a lot of fun for him because he knows he wouldn't be able to do all this shit in the NBA.
Oh yeah, this is just like, you know, he is de facto the best player like on the planet for this in this league. But he's putting up some shots, man. I gotta toss it up to your boy Dwight Howard, crushing it out there, killing it in Taiwan. But no, to finish my thought, the NBA is such a big global sport that, you know, we see the NBA make some goofy ass stances and refuse to discuss certain things on like a public platform or take stances strictly based off of their being able to have that market, you know, being able to go out there and like broadcast their games. So there's people who grew up and just were obsessed with Dwight Howard back whenever he was, you know, on the Magic and going to the finals and was a 3-4-time defensive player of the year. Like during that real big peak he was riding, there's a huge global market for him over there that now it's, you know, like almost like a reunion tour.
True.
So shout out, dude. Shout out to Dwight Howard. All right, well, let's get into these bets, sir. It's bets time. I gotta play your sound.
Right.
We'll get into yours, and then this will give us time to discuss yours a little bit more in depth. But we'll go through. Let me read his first. Where are yours? Did you put yours on the sheet? I don't see.
No, I was running late, so I just typed up notes. But
no worries, you're good. But all right, so let me read through his first. Okay, so This is a 7-team parlay. All right. I want to say it's all faves. It's all favorites. Yeah, it looks like it's all favorites to me. Yeah. So this is his favorites 7-team parlay from Mr. Goody. He's got Dolphins at the he's got Texans at Dolphins. He's got Dolphins winning that. He's got Bears and Jets. Jets winning that. Baltimore and Jacksonville with Baltimore winning that. Packers versus the Eagles. Eagles winning that. New York at the Cowboys with the Cowboys winning that matchup. Then Buffalo Bills at Detroit Lions with Buffalo. And then Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders at the Seattle Seahawks with the Seahawks winning that. That's, yeah, I mean, I could see him. I mean, that Jets Bears game is kind of sketch, and I think Miami handles the Texans. The Texans are kind of a mess, but that second game, Bears at Jets, because the Jets look dysfunctional. They look dysfunctional as fuck. The moment they lost Breece Hall, their running back, it looked like it kind of fell apart for them. Granted, they've been okay, but like their offense has kind of struggled a little bit. Chicago's on the climb.
They don't have any of those, like, they have good receivers, but no, like, elite receivers that are game changers. Then it's hard when Zach Wilson is running that offense because he only throws like 150 yards a game.
And he just doesn't give a shit, supposedly. He doesn't care about anybody but himself. But it's like, yeah, I could see them losing that game. I could see them not pulling that one out for sure.
The only reason the only reason the Jets would win is the Patriots defense is good. They've been playing really well. It's the Patriots offense that scares me. But I don't know. Wait, no, not the Patriots. What am I talking about? The Vikings.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I think Baltimore readily handles the Jags. Eagles, Packers, I think that's going to be a better game than people realize. I think the Packers are, while they're kind of out of it, I think that they're kind of like on a chip on my shoulder tour. And if Rodgers gets cut, I think, how he performs is really not like cut now, but if they decide to not, well, I guess they can't really cut him because that contract's got a shit ton of guaranteed money. So if they cut him, the amount of dead cap space they'd have, he'd have to do something weird. Like pee on an Arby's and get caught or something. He'd have to do something weird for them to be like, hey, your contract's over, bitch. It'd have to be something like that. I don't think he can just walk. Or they can just let him walk. But I think that'll be a decent game, but I do think we win it. The Giants and Cowboys, that's going to be a good game for Thanksgiving. We finally got a good Thanksgiving game for once. I think, well, who was it? I think it was, did they play the Raiders last year and they lost to the Raiders maybe? I think the Cowboys lost last Thanksgiving, didn't they?
Yeah, that sounds right.
So hopefully they lose that. I mean, I want them to just beat each other up. We have to play the Giants twice. So I guess I'd rather the Cowboys win in this theory of the division. Because then we still have to play the Giants 2 times. We only have to play the Cowboys once. We've already beat them once. So if we could split with the Giants, and then if we were to sweep the Cowboys, that'd be good. I'd be fine with that. Yeah, Lions.
So for that, if you sweep the Cowboys, because odds are, you guys, the top 3 teams in the NFC are Eagles, Cowboys, and 49ers, right? So there's a good chance you'll see the Cowboys in the playoffs again. And if you've already beaten them 2 times in a row, it's really hard to beat teams in the NFL 3 times in a row.
No, I know. That happened. We did that. We had that happen one time. This was back when McNabb was playing, and we lost the 3rd time. So we won the last game of the year, and we won the earlier meeting with them, and we swept them. Then when we played the Cowboys the 3rd time, they got us. I mean, I don't think, because we have to meet on our schedule coming up. It'll be interesting to see the Cowboys go up against the Titans per se, because the way they run the ball, their offense has been good. Actually, those are 2 very similar teams. So whenever the Titans and Cowboys play, that's going to be 2, real physical big teams up front that like to push people around, get after the quarterback, beating up on each other. So that'll be a really good litmus test for them. But I mean, I just think that we got something for them in the sense that we have so many different looks, so many different weapons. We have a good passing game, but it's like our passing game has been efficient, but it's also kind of by committee. So we have a lot of talent, but it's way more like passing by committee than it is and running back by committee, because we have some good running backs. So I just think that we've still not shown all of our wrinkles to our offense, where I think that we've seen now the Cowboys could add Odell Beckham Jr. Blah, blah, and then maybe that changes it. But I don't think that. I think we know what the Cowboys' offensive formula is for them to win, and if they deviate from it, they'll lose. But hopefully, yeah, I don't know. But fuck the Cowboys. If he has the Cowboys winning, then the Bills, yeah, and then the Raiders are just a fucking mess, man. I feel bad for the Raiders. I feel bad for Carr.
I don't. Fuck the Raiders.
Well, no, but Carr's a good guy. I like Carr.
He is, but it's just because he's in the AFC West with the Broncos. It's physically impossible for me to like the Raiders.
Who do you like more right now, Russell Wilson or Carr? Who's more likable to you?
I don't want to answer that.
Let's go, because we all know who it is. We all know who the fuck it is. It's Carr. If you would take Carr over Russell Wilson right now, you would take him. He looks like he's throwing the ball better. What is it? Devontae Adams leads the league in touchdown receptions. So at least he's going to get his consolation prize. All right. Next bet. 3-team parlay. This looks like it's the underdogs. He's got Bengals at Titans, with the Titans winning that one. Falcons at Commanders, with the Falcons winning that. And then the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Colts, with the Steelers winning that.
I like the Colts game, or the Steelers and the Titans. I don't know about that middle game though. Commanders have won the last 4 out of 5.
Yeah, Commanders, man. Heineke he's the guy, man. He is him. He is him for sure. He's out there just slinging. I mean, fuck him for his little cheesy, I'm going to lay down, and I kneeled, and getting hit, but some punk stuff. Hated that. But, yeah, I mean, I think Titans at Bengals, I think that's going to be a good game. And, yeah, I mean, the Falcons are so wishy-washy. Right now, the Falcons are higher on the power rankings. They're 16, while the Bucks at 5-5. I guess they were on a bye week, but I mean, I want the Falcons to win, because it looks like the Cowboys are making the playoffs, so I'm wrong there. And it looks like the Niners are making the playoffs, so I'm wrong there. So 2 of mine are wrong. So fuck that. Come on, man. I'll take 50. I'll take 50%. But the Bucks probably still make it in as a wild card, or in some play in, shoots and ladders match, or whatever the fuck they'll call it, whenever they add another round to it. They're like, well, we switched it up. Tom Brady's just, grandfathered into the playoffs. And we're like, what? That's crazy. And then he won't retire for forever. But those are goodies picks. So, to run over them one more time. 17 parlay favorite, and that's plus 576.
Ooh.
Dolphins over Texans. Jets over Bears, Ravens over Jags, Eagles over the Pack Attack, Cowboys over the New York Jets, Buffalo Bills over the Lions, or New York Giants, Buffalo Bills over the Lions, and Seahawks over the Vegas Raiders. Then on the 3-team parlay, on the underdogs, Titans over the Bengals, Commanders will lose, so the Falcons over the Washington Commanders, and then the Pittsburgh Steelers over the Indianapolis Colts. Those are decent.
Yeah.
I mean, that one's plus 1296 on that long shot.
Damn.
But he was down 6 units. That might be his biggest loss yet.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, we hope you're doing good out there, Goody. Even though you forgot about us today, we still love you. I'll yell at you tomorrow on Thanksgiving. All right. Well, now we got to get into 2.0 Stone Hardcore Marble Slab chopped up with gummy bears, and Butterfingers picks of the week. What are they?
All right, so quick little recap on last week. At the Eagles, -6.5 at the Colts. That obviously did not hit. Eagles did win, but they needed a late touchdown by Jalen Hurts to win 17-16. And we had the Lions at the Giants. We took the Giants -3. But they got destroyed by the Lions, 31-18. I knew the Lions offense would have success, but I did not think their defense would step up and hold Saquon Barkley to only 21 rushing yards on 15 attempts. So good for them. They've won 3 straight.
Yeah.
We had the Chiefs at the Chargers, first half under 25.5. That did not hit. They combined for 33 points here, which went way over the total. I played this with the trend, and it was bound to end eventually. Sucks that it happened last week.
Yeah, that was a rough week.
Hey, gonna end it on the high notes though here. We had the Chiefs third quarter -1 at the Chargers. That did hit. Chargers got a field goal, which ended up being the only score of the third quarter here, so that was a win. And our little 2-team teaser, we had the Panthers at the Ravens. Ravens were -7. They ended up winning 13-3, so they did cover the teaser, but did not cover the actual spread of 13. Their defense looks really strong, and the addition of Roquan Smith was a huge. It looks like that old school Ravens defense that I grew up watching.
They're have to pay that guy. You're gonna have to pay that man. And you got to pay Lamar Jackson, too. They're going to have to pay that man. Ooh.
Yeah. Shit. It'll be worth it, though. He is solid middle linebacker.
That's what I'm saying. You're going to lose. They're going to, Marcus Peters is out. You're going to see a lot of these veterans, these older guys, or people that have been a little bit injury prone. They're going to be out the door, man. They're going to... Because he's going to get a big chunk of money. And they have a lot of young talent on offense. I think they've already paid Andrews. They don't have to pay Bateman yet. They don't have to pay some of their skill players. They don't have to pay Dobbins yet, but they're going to have to pay that man. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
He's a monster.
The other leg of the teaser, we had the 49ers -2 at the Cardinals. This wasn't a sweat at all. The 49ers ended up winning 38-10. So overall, we were 2-3, down about 1.3 units on the juice there, but
that's not too bad. It's better than Goody, who's down 6. So we'll take it. We'll take it. All right. Well, what do you got for this week?
All right. So for this week, first off, I got the Patriots at the Vikings. I'm taking the Vikings -2.5 at -110. This is a Thanksgiving game. So it'll be on tomorrow. This is obviously a big bounce back spot here for the Vikings after getting embarrassed by Dallas last week and Justin Jefferson only getting me 6 fantasy points.
That's brutal.
Not salty at all.
Well, he's pretty clutch. He's going to have games like that.
Yeah. Then the Patriots defense has been playing well all season, and they've only given up 3 points in each of the last 2 games. That was also against Sam Ehlinger and Zach Wilson. And we all know that the Vikings offense is much more dynamic than the Colts and the Jets. So I really don't think they're going to be able to hold them to just 3 points here. The Patriots also lost their starting left guard for this game. And their starting center and right tackle are both listed as questionable. Especially that center position, it's going to be a big problem going into a loud, hostile environment like Minnesota. So I'm going to take the Vikings here at -2.5.
Okay. Yeah, I think the Patriots, Judon, there is leading the league in sacks right now. That guy's a monster. He's got something crazy. Something insane. I'm not sure what it is, but he's ahead of Micah Parsons. Even still after last week, because Micah's got 10 now. I think he has 10. So he's got 1 per game. Or he's at that mark. I think Judon's got something 12 or 13 sacks or something crazy on the Patriots. Yeah, their defense has been good. Their offense is a little bit suspect. So, I mean, I guess we'll just, have to wait and see what happens. That's going to be a good game to watch. It's also Kirk Cousins, but I think they're the early game, right? They're the first game of the day, so they're not. So it's not the prime time slot. So he might light it up. Kirk might cook, dude. Don't be surprised if he comes out there and just slings it, throws like 3-4 tutties.
No, it is the primetime game.
Oh, it is? It's the later game? Oh, yeah, I know the Cowboys are always on, but they're on during supper time. I'm going to sit down.
Yeah. We'll see how primetime Kirk Cousins does again. But I'm sticking with it. We're going to take the Vikings 2.5.
All right, what's the next one?
Next up, we got the Ravens at the Jags. We're taking the Jags team total under 19.5.
Ooh.
So plain and simple here. So this Ravens defense has been elite since the addition of Roquan Smith. They're playing really well. The Jags are coming off of a bye, so they have had an extra week to prepare. But they only have 2 games of tape with Roquan Smith and how this defense has evolved with him. So I do think they are going to struggle. They've only gone over this number 2 times in the last 6 weeks. And that was against the Colts and the Raiders, which are both very bad defenses.
Yep.
The other teams they played were the Texans, the Giants, the Broncos, and the Chiefs. And which are better defenses. I won't say any of them are necessarily elite, but they are better defenses. They match up closer with how I would put Ravens defense.
Yeah.
So we're going to go under 19.5 for this Jags team total.
It's a good bet. Yeah, I like that. The Jags have been struggling. Do you think Trevor Lawrence is a bust? Have you thought about this? Have you heard people? Some people have said that. I don't think you can say that just yet, but
I don't think he's a bust because, you got to think of all the shit that happened last season with Urban Meyer.
Ugh, what a gross person.
Yeah, that was.
He's just weird,
really
man. He's such creepy dad vibes. I always got creepy dad vibes from him. Like creepy dad with bourbon on his breath. You don't hug me anymore. It's like, don't hug my friends, Dad. Leave them alone.
Yeah, that's a tough situation for any rookie quarterback to handle. So I do like Doug Peterson. I think he'll help Trevor Lawrence a lot. I don't know if he'll be an elite quarterback in this NFL, but I think he'll be a solid starter.
Okay. I can dig it.
Yeah.
I like that one. What's your next one?
Next up, we got the Raiders at the Seahawks. We're taking the Seahawks -3.5 at -110. So the Raiders did get the win last week against the Broncos in overtime, but don't get me started on that. The Seahawks did lose last week in Germany, where they lost to the Buccaneers. But I'm chalking that game up to just bad travel plans for the Seahawks because they did come out flat. Buccaneers were able to take advantage of it. Then they did show some life later on, but it was too late. Their deficit was too much.
Yeah.
So maybe this Raiders team rides this momentum from last week, but they're just a bad team overall. And I expect the Seahawks to get back to form here and handle this bad Raiders team. So we're taking the Seahawks -3.5.
All right. I like that. Yeah, the Seahawks are physical enough, can run the ball well enough. We've seen the Raiders' offense is great. Their defense is garbage. They can't hold on to the ball. I mean, I think about that first game of the year when they had 4 or 5 turnovers and he had fumbles and picks. He was just throwing 3 picks and 2 fumbles or something stupid. It's just been downhill since. Yeah, I like that pick. What you got next up on deck, Joey boy?
All right, so here we got a little 3-leg teaser here. So we're taking the Packers at the Eagles. We're going to tease the Eagles from -6.5 to -0.5 point. So they just need to win the game.
Okay.
We're taking the Steelers from +2.5 to +8.5 at the Colts.
Okay.
And then we're taking the Cowboys hosting the Giants from -10 down to -4.
Okay, those are really good. I like those.
Yeah, so I got that at +150, but every book does teasers a little differently. But
yeah, those are good. I mean, yeah, I think that making the Eagles game a pick 'em. Getting it down to a pick 'em and just picking the Eagles, and then it was +8, so the Colts have to win by 9 or more for you to lose that bet. I like that because I don't think they.
Yeah, I don't think the Colts beat anybody by 9 points right now.
No, I don't think so at all. Definitely not. And it's not that they have a bad defense. They have a pretty good defensive line. They have good individual talent at certain levels on defense, but it's not a cohesive enough unit to where you're like, oh man, this is really intimidating. They have good veteran presence in Rodney McLeod, former Eagle, but Rodney McLeod's definitely on the tail end of his career. There's they're just. I really like Darius Leonard. He's fantastic. DeForest Buckner is a monster at DT. But, I think that a lot of those guys went there thinking that team was going to be better than it is. So I don't know how much longer they stay in Indy. But, yeah, I like those. I like that.
Yeah, I think that Colts team, it'll depend how they respond to Jeff Saturday.
Fuck Jeff Saturday.
Hey, come on.
Hate Jeff Saturday. He sucks. He's one of those pretentious offensive linemen that I can't stand. It'd be only person. Well, he's not that bad. He's likable, and he's definitely galvanized the troop. He's relying heavy on his position coaches and his coordinators, which is good. He's a good person to have as the figurehead of the Colts. It makes sense. I just I don't like that he just got given a job for oh yeah, here you go. He's like, all right, sweet man. Later ESPN. I'm gonna go coach a team. And then he won his first game. I'm like, this motherfucker. Oh, this kid. So if we would have lost to him, I put that juju out there. We only won by a point. That was the universe telling me to watch my mouth about Jeff Saturday. That's what it was. Mm-hmm. And what am I going to do? Still run my mouth. Come find me, Jeff. Shit. So we did. Getting scared. Gunshots. No. So... Before we go, what are you doing? You excited? Big Thanksgiving? Are you a big Thanksgiving person? Do you have 2 Thanksgivings?
So I do have one more play here.
Oh, you have one more? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, and then tell me because I know you're back, man. You're back in Colorado. You're back in civilization.
Yeah.
That you can have a legal Pete.
I should have put it all into the notes, but
no, you're good, man. You're good. You're good.
This last play here, we're taking the Bengals at the Titans. We're going Titans money line at +130. So this does line up with Mr. Goody Two Shoes, one of the legs on his parlay.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say you really dug that one. So I figured that normally when you're like, ooh, I like that, that means you've probably bet it too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, why did you take that one? Elaborate.
So, people have been able to score on the Bengals defense, and I do think that their offense is going to struggle this week. They may or may not get Jamar Chase back. We're still waiting on that. If Jamar Chase does come back, I don't like this bet because him and Joe Burrow together can go off for 400 yards and 8 touchdowns.
True.
So if he does play, I don't like this bet as much. But the Titans defense does rank 10th in sacks and pressure percentage. So we all know the Bengals struggles to protect Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow does great when he actually has time, but sorry, lost my train of thought here.
No,
when he isn't able to be comfortable back there and he's always having to worry about this pass rush, he's struggled.
Yeah.
And I think the Titans are going to have success. They also want a little bit of payback for last year's playoff game.
Yeah, no, they're just going to run the ball right at him. That's the formula with the Titans is smash you in the mouth, and Henry's healthy and running hard, so that's going to be a tough game for him for sure. Like I said, the makeup of the Cowboys and the makeup of the Titans is very similar stylistically and on offense. Maybe not so much on defense because the pass rush for the Cowboys is next level in comparison. But the way they orchestrate their offense and move the ball and pick and choose their spots, they're super similar. So yeah, I could see them struggling. just with, I mean, I could just see the Bengals struggling in this game because I think it's still shaky. Like, if the Bengals are as good as we think they are, like, you know, there's flashes where it's amazing, and then they lose games that you're like, oh, this is a shoe-in. So it's going to be interesting to see over the rest of the season because I have utmost confidence in Burrow. Burrow's super legit. I think Burrow is probably one of my favorite young quarterbacks. Love that dude, and I loved him at LSU. But yeah, man, and I was in love with Justin Jefferson when he was on LSU. I was like, oh my God, that's who I want us to get. That's who I want us to get. And he was on the board, and when we took Rager, I almost died. So I'll never live that down because I have a tweet where I tweeted my friend, or not tweet, a text where I was telling him he was making fun of us for drafting Rager. And I was like, man, I wanted Jefferson. And he was like, no, you don't, blah, 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 like running his mouth. Jefferson sucks. So every once in a while I always will send him that text message from like, and I was like, no, man, I was like, Jefferson's legit. He definitely is. But yeah, I mean, we'll see if Jamar Chase comes back. That offense is different. That is true. And Mixon's a beast. Mixon's a monster. So, but yeah, so what are, okay, actually, sorry. That is the end of bets. We got all bets in. Fuck Goody for not being here to do his own bets. He's probably like gallivanting with some girl or something. Who knows? Whenever I called him, he was like, oh fuck. But no, before we go and end the show, what are you big? Are you doing dual gobble days? What's your plan for Thanksgiving?
Yeah, so my dad's family is all here in Colorado, so we're gonna go up to my uncle's house up in Fort Collins. Like, he usually, past couple times, he's made like a prime rib for dinner, so hopefully he keeps that up because it's not very Thanksgiving-y, but it's good enough that it kind of makes up for that.
So are you a turkey fan?
If it's done well, but otherwise I prefer ham every day.
Really? See, I don't like either. I would rather have neither, unless the turkey's like whatever they like season it and it's deep fried and it's like super juicy and crispy. All about that. Otherwise, if it's just like baked, I'm over it. And I've never really been that big into ham. I just haven't. Like, I'd rather have a prime rib than have ham.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. What are you doing for Thanksgiving?
Gonna be doing a Friendsgiving. Unfortunately, mi madre and her significant other are sick. They are out, so we will not be seeing them. But we're gonna be doing a Friendsgiving. I'm actually gonna be having a steak. I'm actually getting something that I would like to eat rather than and I love sides. It's just like the main protein. I'm not into it. So I'll be having a steak tomorrow and watching football and just kind of relaxing, be able to, unplug from the universe for the day. Everyone's busy. Everything's closed. There's nothing that's work oriented. Everything stops. So that'll be really nice. It'll be a much needed break. Even though I've gotten a little bit of one, got some good sleep, but the extra day off on any week, I'm like, oh my God, please, really? And normally it'll be like, oh, what's going on with work stuff, but now it's like, no, it won't even matter. It'll be closed. Everyone will be relaxing, and I think the world needs to relax a little bit. So I think everyone's kind of looking forward to this Thanksgiving more than once recently. At least I am.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a notorious curmudgeon and like Grinch and Ebenezer Scrooge on the holidays, so that's like notorious. So I'm decently excited. Tomorrow's gonna be fun, and yeah, it'll just be nice to relax. And then you're doing that? Are you also doing something with your mom too?
Maybe. I usually don't. Like, my dad and I'll go up to my uncle's house, and then like I'll go spend time with her or something, and just go hang out at her house for a little bit.
How long do you get to be in town before you gotta go back?
Either drive back Saturday or Sunday. Let's see.
Okay, yeah. Right now out here, it's all the college kids who couldn't get into the colleges here, who went somewhere else, are all back. It's like a big flip flop. It's just so interesting. But that's nice, man. I'm happy for you, dude. I'm glad you got back safe. Was it a treacherous drive?
No, it was pretty good. The weather was nice. I wanted to leave after my 9 o'clock class because it got done at 11. I was like, all right, I need to pack everything, like get it all ready the night before. That didn't happen.
Of course.
So then my class got done, and I didn't end up leaving until like 2 o'clock.
Oh, dang. How long is that? How long is that drive?
It's about a 6.5 hour drive.
Okay, that's not too bad. That's crazy, because if you were to drive from Denver to like Dallas, it'd be like double that.
Yeah.
Damn, crazy. Well, hell yeah, man. Well, I appreciate you being on 2.0, and just have a good Thanksgiving. And I love you, fam. You're my boy. And hopefully we win some money this week. So I'm going to be watching these games, and I'm going to be rooting. But I'm not rooting for the Cowboys. So that's never going to happen. I'll be rooting for their demise.
Yeah, but yeah, thanks for having me on. Love you too, and have a good Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I'll give you a call tomorrow, man. I'll call you and the fam and bug you and see what's up.
All right.
All right, well, be good, man. Thanks for coming on, boss.
Yes, sir. Later.
2.0 out of the building. Fucking goodie. I'm gonna have to yell at him later. Well, we rambled about a lot. I was stuck by myself for a little bit, but it was fantastic. It was fine. Watch the World Cup, support Team USA. Just remember, be mindful of all of these things. And when we have these big events, they can't have negative impacts on other people. So just be cognizant of that, and don't forget that, you know, other people not being exploited for our entertainment in the long run is probably better. So just, you know, just a thought. Yeah, you guys, I'm going to keep it short on the end. Just, you know, really have a good Thanksgiving. Enjoy yourselves, relax, spend it with friends, family, chill out, drink beer, watch football. I hope your team wins regardless of who they are. Thanksgiving, I don't like the holidays, but, you know, I think that the world right now kind of needs a break. I do. And, you know, I'm going to be hanging out with people I care about, get to just relax, and it's going to be nice. So everybody should do that. Don't fight. Don't talk politics. Leave that shit at the door, please. Do yourself a solid. Stay blessed. Y'all be good. Peace out.